So I hope now I don't really want to move the tripod because it's tripping. I had to prop it. Apparently, I need a new one. But anyways, I'm doing a quick live. This is, of course, another Chef on a Budget, Eat Your Way Healthy segment for my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be prepping fresh pineapple, and then I'm going to be making fresh salsa from Roma tomatoes, and then some guacamole because the avocado I had got this week is already getting ready to go bad. I did order new avocado, but it always comes in not right. So, all right. So, anyway, first thing you want to do, I like to use a paper plate because of how messy it gets with the pineapple. Um, but the first thing you always want to do is, of course, chop off the top. I think I might grab, let me grab some wax paper right quick. And I've got my meditation music. This is what I do on my Sundays. Is um, I just do like my meditation hour, focus on the things that I'm calling in, healing, all of that. And then I'm gonna get my prep started early because tonight I'm gonna make ground turkey nachos with the fresh salsa and guacamole and queso fresco. All right, so give me 1 second. The reason I like to use the wax paper is because it helps to keep the cutting board clear of any residue that might be on the outside of the pineapple. So, I mean, because you got to think about it, it grows in trees and it's been outside, it's been transported. So, you want to try to keep the outer part of the pineapple off of the cutting board when you're going to be slicing the actual pineapple because it could then contaminate it. So, anyways, yeah, my focus right now, I really want to get some land and get a facility built. I want to start growing all of my own fruits and vegetables because I'm like, it's got to be something they're doing to the produce because like you can order groceries and within like 2 days the produce is already going bad. And this pineapple's not even fully ripened, but the bottom of it was starting to go bad. So I don't like to take any chances with that, just because, like I said, one of my biggest things is food safety. I don't know why I can't talk. Probably because I'm tired. Food safety is essential, especially when you're cooking for other people. And see, that's what sets apart people who cook and chefs. We think about every aspect of, you know, whatever you are making or prepping prior to presentation. See how the bottom of this, trying to see if I can get close enough to the camera. See how the bottom of this here is starting to go bad. That's why you gotta, really take the time to inspect your fruit, because I genuinely believe that they spray some sort of chemicals on this shit. Because I'm like, I just got this order like 2 days ago. And I could tell the bottom was going bad by the way it was starting to smell. It didn't smell sour or anything, but when you're a chef, like you just kind of know the scent of pineapple is always supposed to be sweet. It's never supposed to be sour on any level. If you eat fresh pineapple and it has like a taste where it's starting to get sour, that means mold is setting in. And even though one like the upper portion may not be quote unquote bad, I've seen a lot of people use molded fruits and vegetables and they'll cut around the part that's molded. I'm like, the whole thing is contaminated. parasites and pathogens form usually within the core or the root of vegetables and fruits. I mean, and like thinking about those of us that had single moms growing up, you know, the times your mom always made potatoes with sprouts, and she would just cut the sprouts out or cut around the sprouts. I had learned in culinary sanitation that that's literal fungus. And so many, I know so many of our moms have done that because they didn't know no better. But I think about, you know, stuff like that, then you wonder why the kid end up getting sick or, you know, why they got the runs is because they ingested fungus. So you have to be very careful when it comes to your prep. So what I just did is I cut the core out because I'm more than likely going to freeze this and use it for my smoothies. Oh yeah, I am going to be starting to sell my purple sea moss gel smoothies. I actually plan to make a new batch of purple sea moss gel tomorrow. And then once I get it, you know, pulled off and all of that, I'll go ahead and come back and do my purple sea moss gel smoothie video because I haven't done one in a while. Um, my brand is all about eating your way healthy. I've got multiple chronic conditions I've been diagnosed with that I am working to naturally heal. And I do know that what you eat can bring about healing. Um, I also know that different medications that doctors have tried me on have contributed to a lot of the GI issues that I have. And when your body is used to you taking certain medications and then, you know, you decide to stop, it really honestly fucks you up a lot. That's why I don't care for the pharmaceutical industry anymore. I really don't because I used to work for the pharmaceutical industry. I know what it really is. They really don't give you medications that actually promote healing. They give you medications that keep you dependent on them in order to feel halfway better after they make you feel much worse first. Like I never understood that. Why would we give people medications that's gonna make them sicker in hopes that later on down the road it might make them better? So I do my best to try to eat my vitamins instead of taking vitamin supplements because a lot of those have chemicals mixed into them, you know, for the preservation of it. I really believe, even in my own research, what we have on this earth we can use to heal ourselves. We just have to be shown how to use it the right way. So for me, like with pineapple, it has vitamin C, K, I believe E and A, and it has the amount of citric acid that your gut needs to eliminate in healthy ways. Um, but it can be really hard on your stomach if your body's not used to it because fresh pineapple is actually used as a detoxifier. So like, and I'm going to be doing those too, like detox waters, detox, you know, especially the purple sea moss gel. Purple sea moss gel has, I believe, 92 vitamins and minerals, and it comes from the ocean. Like it, and I actually get mine. I order mine, so I get the what is it called? The Irish. I'll, you know what? After my live, I'll post it. I'll find it online, and I'll take a screen capture and post it. But I believe it is Irish something, you know, purple sea moss, and it's the actual like dried sea moss, and you have to go through the process of rinsing it, boiling it, rinsing it again, and then you know you boil it to create the gel, and you have to blend the gel. I mean, it's a process, but it's worth it. I would much rather take purple sea moss gel and black seed oil and bee propolis. Those are natural supplements that don't have extra chemicals. Because one thing I have learned to do, especially after working for a United Health Group, any medication I take, even OTC meds, which is over the counter meds, I always look at the ingredients. Ever since I worked for them, because I worked in their specialty injectables department. So we had to learn, you know, about all types of chronic conditions that all of our medications, you know, facilitated in injectable form. We had to set up orders for delivery. Sometimes we had to reach out to doctors' offices and get prior authorizations and all this other stuff. So I've worked in multiple industries, and I use the knowledge that I've learned in each industry for the sake of promoting natural healing. So I am going to put myself on a challenge very soon to go 30 days without meat. And it's crazy because a couple of years ago I was vegan, but the vegan diet had me in the bathroom way too much. I mean, it definitely helped me to keep my weight down. I was much smaller, um, but it wreaked havoc for the existing GI conditions. And I really do believe that a lot of the stuff I have gone on from all these different medications doctors have tried me on over the years have contributed to the irritable bowel syndrome and these other, medical conditions that I need surgery for. So for me, while I'm still seeking, a permanent resolution, I'm gonna see if I can find one on my own. You know what? I probably should not include these pieces. Yeah, because those are intermixed. That's another thing that is very important to me when people call themselves wanting to cook for me is watching how they prepare their food. So, for instance, this situation, I'm gonna show y'all this. See how, because I use wax paper to protect the cutting board, but see how there's little pieces of wax paper mixed in there? This in the kitchen would be considered cross contamination because, and most people would still put this to serve, even though there's little pieces of wax paper mixed up with it. For the sake of being sanitary in my kitchen, I would tell them to throw this out because if any little tiny piece of wax paper is in this, somebody's going to ingest that and it's going to make them sick. So that was like a real life lesson right there. And that's a lot of the things that I would teach in the kitchens where I was a certified culinary trainer. So basically, it's really that easy. It is best not to eat canned fruits and vegetables because they're preserved in a brine. And a brine is a combination of water, salt, and sugar. Literally, that's all it is. So it strips the fruit. Like when I was a kid, my mom would give us, the fruit cocktail. I know everybody in the hood, y'all grew up eating fruit cocktail. You can't tell me you black and you ain't had no fruit cocktail growing up with the little fake ass cherries that you thought you was doing some shit. If you got a cherry on your spoon, nigga, y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, like the little fruit cocktails, even the apple sauces, like the Mott's, because I used to be smashing them strawberry Mott's. Man, those was my shit. Even in high school, hell, even in college, those was my shit. But quite honestly, it's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. Now I just got a whole 32-ounce container of fresh pineapple, no preservatives, no brines, no sodium, no sugar. Pineapple is a natural binder. It produces its own sugar from the actual fruit. It's used in the kitchen for so many things, especially desserts. You would be surprised how many desserts have fresh pineapple blended into them. And it's also a binder. So it can help to emulsify, whatever you're trying to create if you want it to have a certain shape or form. Fresh pineapple is a good one. Um, you can also put the fresh pineapple in like your purified drinking water for those ladies that want to like pee off water. Wait, I'm about to give you a straight up chef verified hack. Fresh pineapple, and I prepped these last night when I got off work. And cucumber chips. This right here, fresh pineapple and cucumber chips. This will help you pee off a ton of water weight. They're very easy to make. I just shave all in each one of these containers is one whole cucumber, by the way. And these are 16-ounce containers. So I just basically shave the entire cucumber. Do not ever consume the outer part of a cucumber because cucumber grows in fertilizer, which is honestly shit. And cucumber has a lot of parasites. So you need to, if you're going to eat it, completely shave off the skin. I know it's cute to do the little lines, but it's not healthy. And then you just give them a quick rough chop. I shape mine like chips because if I get hungry late at night, I would rather eat cucumber than actual sodium filled chips because that can cause high blood pressure. Um, so I've got 5 of these left. I've been eating pretty much one a day, honestly. And sometimes I might do two a day because I just really like the flavor of cucumber. Plus, like I said, it's a natural diabetic or not diabetic diuretic. So for some people that take like water pills, you can replace the water pills with the fresh cucumber. And again, it's all about eating your way healthy. So like I said, I now have a 32-ounce container of fresh pineapple. I'm about to date label it, and then I'm gonna get set up to start prepping the salsa. Oh, I'm also gonna prep some kale too, because I'm gonna probably do a crab salad later this week. And I don't remember what channel this is on YouTube, but it's a part of my. I have a private playlist that I have titled for my healing, and this is one of them. I believe this is. Let me see the megahertz. This is 963 megahertz, which is, from what I've studied, that is the highest megahertz you can get. They call it the God megahertz. Today is what is today? Today the fourth. Yeah, today is the fourth. So yeah, like I have actual date labels, like multiple packs of date labels. I'm a professional chef everywhere. This is like something I cannot get away from. Nor should I. I mean, it's honestly good practice to label the foods that you're prepping. Like in the kitchens, this will be considered what's called ready to eat because it is ready to eat. Ready to eat just essentially means it doesn't have to be cooked or par cooked. So in all the kitchens I worked in, because I was always the certified culinary trainer for production, which is prep, the prep department. And then I moved over to pantry. Then I moved over to the line. Then I moved over to QB, and QB is the plating area. But anyways, ready to eat foods can have, I say, 5 days shelf life. Technically, they can have 7 to 10 maximum before it starts, to deteriorate and starts to get old. Quite honestly, because I know I'm going to use a lot of this for the smoothie, I'm probably going to freeze the rest of it because I think because I do so much cucumber, when I start to eat the pineapple, it cleans me out a little too well. So I don't be liking to do too much of the pineapple because me having Graves' disease, hyperthyroidism, basically it causes everything to be accelerated because the half of my thyroid that's left is still accelerated. So most people's digestive system, processes what you eat after about 48 hours. Mine processes it immediately. So I could eat some pineapple and then like 30 minutes to an hour later, I'm in the bathroom. So it does a little too much. But for those who have a normal digestive system, I would suggest if you want to lose weight quickly and naturally without taking no pills, no powders, none of that, start eating you a lot of fresh pineapple with fresh cucumber and drink your purified water. Alkaline water really is the best water for you, but it's expensive and it's, to me, it's been hard to come by in large quantities because I can usually only find it in the stores in like maybe the 1 or 2 liter size, but not like by the gallon. Because that's really, I want to. I'm trying my hardest to readjust my digestive system. If I can move towards being vegetarian, I'm cool with that. Because with vegetarian, I can still have some dairy, like cheese, and things like that. The straight vegan had me doing too much. That's why, honestly, that's why some of my GI conditions are worse now because of how much I was in the bathroom while it was just doing the most. But I digress. These are natural fat burners: fresh pineapple and Fresh cucumber are natural fat burners. Oh yeah, let me show y'all these too. I prepped these last night. I forgot. So once I decide on some labeling, I am gonna start selling my aloe feminine wash. I've been using them now for about a year. I make them from fresh aloe. This is my actual aloe feminine wash. There's no chemicals, nothing else added. It's just fresh aloe water, and I included fresh cucumber into this one because I can't do scents. My area is very sensitive. My whole body is sensitive. I break out very easily. I get allergic reactions all the time. Matter of fact, my forehead broke out a few days ago, and I realized I had to switch the filter out, on the water. But me having Graves' disease is something that I was told I was born with, but that they didn't catch until I was in my 20s. So it's an autoimmune disease, meaning that it compromises your immune system and it causes, like, basically my thyroid and my immune system are always fighting each other instead of working together to fight off disease and infection. They're clashing all the time. So my thyroid is accelerated, and that's why sometimes everything is fast. Sometimes I talk really fast. Sometimes my thoughts come really fast. Everything is sped up all the time. So the main reason I started the Eat Your Way Healthy is for me to heal myself, because I am a healer, but I've got to figure out what can I do naturally to heal these conditions, because I had thyroid cancer surgery in 2010. The first time they caught malignant cells in my biopsies was in 2009, and I was diagnosed with Graves' disease in 2007. Then it got worse in 2008, and between 2007 and 2010, I had a total of 13 biopsies. So it's definitely something that it's one of those silent things that people can't see, that they don't know you're going through, unless they're around you to see how it like affects you. And even then, sometimes people can't really understand what they haven't experienced. So, anyways, this is my whole concept behind natural products, natural healing, getting your vitamins and your minerals naturally without having to take pills and powders and shakes and drinks. So I'm gonna be real with y'all. A lot of these people that's selling this stuff, they know that shit don't work for real. They just doing it to just hit a lick. So for me, if I'm going to start promoting something, it's going to be something that, as a chef, I'm making completely from scratch. There's nothing additional added to it. It's the natural source of, like the purple sea moss, the gel. Even when I do like my salsa, everything I do, I try to do pure, clean, from scratch, so that there's no side effects. And this is the actual shave gel that I make. I'm trying to get a little bit closer, from the fresh aloe. And like I said, this is the one with the cucumber. And let me see. And then, of course, I make the feminine wash without the cucumber. So sometimes I alternate because I like the smell of the cucumber. It smells just very clean and crisp, but without any like oils or any chemicals that could cause you to have any sort of reactions. And it does keep best in the refrigerator. Of course, you can keep it out at room temperature, but keep in mind it's fresh aloe. It's not like aloe vera gel from Amazon. Like, it's the aloe plant that I order from the store, and I prep by hand and turn it into these products. So these I'll be selling soon. And my cocoa butter deodorant. The reason I haven't promoted it is because I had a recipe that worked really well in the summertime. Like, it actually held up to Texas heat. But then I don't know if some of the ingredients I used, if it changed, but it was like the last time I made it, I didn't feel like it held up as well. So I don't really want to market it until I've fully perfected that deodorant recipe. But the feminine wash definitely works. I do actually use it to wash my underwear in the washing machine, because I can, like, seriously, anything that has perfume, the chemical perfume in it, will cause an allergic reaction on any part of my body. Because I used to have to go to the dermatologist, because even as a kid, I was always having allergic reactions and stuff. So things with like scents or even feminine wash products that I use. I mean, I use pretty much everything on the market that said sensitive skin, but it kept causing me to have hives. I'm like, okay, why am I having hives? And my gynecologist was like, she said, well, you have to look at the ingredients because most of those feminine washes have to have that chemical perfume as a way to preserve the gel itself and any scents that are tied to it. Because I had literally picked up the Summer's Eve no scent, sensitive skin, and within like 2 days I broke out in hives. I mean, it was horrible. I was like, oh my god. And she's like, yeah. She said, well, look at the ingredients. If it has that perfume, it's gonna break your skin out. So that's when I just stopped using everything over the counter because I got tired of that mess. Like, bruh, it's uncomfortable. Even if it's just for a couple of days, it's still uncomfortable. And I did research, what can be used for the most sensitive of skin, like what can be used on baby skin. And it was saying, aloe. Um, fresh aloe is used to treat burns. It's used, in healing agents. And I tried like different recipes. One of them called for like vitamin C powder. That definitely gave me a terrible allergic reaction. And then the other one said to add glycerin, which at first it worked well, I would say, for like maybe a week or so. But then I noticed like my skin would be having dry patches, almost like eczema. So I was like, okay, I must be allergic to glycerin. Talked to my gynecologist. Yep, that's an allergic reaction. So it's like I gotta have something that is gonna be gentle and keep me clean without any sort of reactions. And that's when I really just went into creating my own products. Cause like even so like with Graves' disease, it causes me to have a heat intolerance. And a heat intolerance means that I sweat a lot and really fast. It cannot even be hot in a room, but it's almost like someone just turned the heat on. And then I have this sensitivity to heat. That's why in the summertime, y'all won't really see me outside a lot because I'm not gonna be outside sweating like no man in public. Like this shit is nasty. So for me, I had to look at okay, what things can I eat that'll help to kind of help towards balance in my hormones because essentially with the Graves' disease, it causes my hormones to fluctuate um, often and rapidly. So, like I said, it cannot even be that hot, but like I will be hot. So definitely, like staying with people was a challenge because I will be sweating and like folks will be cold, but it's like I can't help it, because it's from this condition. So the more research I do think that I can, bring myself to a place of healing where the symptoms don't affect me as severe. The other thing I was told the last time I did see a doctor, when they had me on Ambien for my insomnia, apparently when you stop taking Ambien, it causes issues like what I've been experiencing. Like a lot of people were reporting digestive issues and similar like experiences like what I go through. And so I think that also contributed to it because I stopped taking that like 2 years ago because I didn't like how it made me feel. I didn't like that I felt I had to be dependent on it. And I remember like there was a few times I would wake up in different parts of my apartment not knowing how I even got there. So apparently I was sleepwalking again. My sister said I used to sleepwalk when I was a kid. I was like, I ain't taking this shit, bro. I don't know what the fuck they put in that shit, but I like the way it made me feel. I stopped taking it. And honestly, since then, my GI like has gotten a lot worse. And so I did talk with the doctor about that, and they said that was actually a normal side effect. Because once your body gets dependent on it, the way that it affects other areas of your body, become affected too. So for me, eating my way healthy is very personal. It's very this is how I'm going to heal myself. And if I can heal myself naturally through what I eat, then I can help other people heal. Little note if you're going to sharpen your chef knife, never do it by the cutting board because there are little burrs that come off when you run it. Now I have the old school one because I just like it better. But they have a lot of electric ones, especially those ones. If you're going to, especially those because those will cause birds to fly everywhere. And birds are little tiny pieces of metal, and they will end up in your food, and then you'll end up very sick. Like I honestly do believe I have parasites in my intestines. I'm pretty sure I do, given the issues that I have. I was researching even that, like certain medications that I used to be on, side effects that it causes, when you no longer take it. And a lot of them were reporting like IBS, IBD, colon issues, even some like cause like colon cancer. So for me, I'd rather just take the sea moss, the supplements, change what I eat and do my best to heal my mind as well because like they said disease does come from not being at ease, but then also some conditions are passed down to you as a generational curse, like dead ass, because I'm like the GI issue I deal with physically, my mom told me that my uncle and my grandma dealt with that, so that's something that was passed down to us. And if I'm the generational curse breaker, the first person I got to break curses with is myself. So I'm gonna eat my way healthy because I'm not. Knowing what I know after working for the pharmaceutical industry, there is no way I would ever take another pharmaceutical pill. There's just that shit is designed to make you dependent and not get you better. And when they would tell us that shit in the meetings, I was like, bruh, that's some bullshit though. Now sometimes, some don't do that. Sometimes I'll keep the bottoms on, but because these are low key starting to go bad a little bit, I am gonna cut the tops off this time. I need to check to see what day I did that order because I don't trust that one. Oh, let me show y'all why. So this is all a part of sanitation. Okay, it's close enough. Can you see like the dark spots forming? That's not bruising, that's mold. So if you start to see that forming on a tomato, don't use it because that means that it's already started to mold, which means there's already parasites in it. Man, they would show us like those videos of parasites under microscopes, bruh. That shit made me not want to eat nothing ever again. Like, because they look like little tiny ass worms and they be all in your intestines. And like I said, I know for a fact I got them hoes because I've had to change my diet so many times. And then the detoxing of, your body not being used to certain medications, and then detoxing of times where I ate more meat than I should have. And because I ain't gonna lie, at Thanksgiving, that turkey was hidden. So I was making all kind of turkey meals and get the fuck away. Oh, goddamn fruit fly. I can't stand them little motherfuckers. I hate that shit. Like, do not come near my food, bro. And yeah, always be changing your gloves, especially if you kill a bug. Don't just keep prepping. I swear to God, that shit be nasty as hell. When I work, I'm telling you, I've seen some nasty shit in kitchens. I've seen people, man, I even seen somebody literally digging their nose with their gloves on and then still just keep prepping. Like, nigga, go, what the fuck? They're gloves. Like, just put on another pair. Just some stuff I don't understand, man. I've seen some real nasty shit for real. Like, I remember one of the steakhouses I worked at, the kitchen manager would be picking up the rainbow trout with his bare hands, and then picking up the bloody ass steaks and the bloody ass pork chops. No gloves, no washing his hands, just cross contaminating people that got shellfish allergies. You just contaminated their steak. The fuck? and they would get so like in their feelings if I would correct them on that shit. But it's like you of all people should know better. I can't be okay. I ain't gonna use this one because it's too squishy, which means that it's spoiled. Um, Having the knowledge that I have and the education that I have and the experience that I have, plus actually going through having food poisoning before, for me, it's more. It means more to me that you're sanitary, even if your food don't taste good. If I see that you're sanitary, I'm gonna at least try that shit. But if I see that you nasty, I ain't ever finna eat your food. I don't even care if you cook and invite me over and be like, no, I ate before I got here. Cause I can't be fake. I ain't gonna tell you that shit tastes good if it's nasty. And if you nasty, I'm gonna want to correct you because of the training that I have, but I won't disrespect people like that unless they ask me my opinion. Or unless I'm sitting there watching you prep, then I'm gonna be like, bruh, let me show you how this is how you supposed to do it. Because I don't want you to make me sick. That's my thing. Like, don't don't want me to eat your food, and then I see you doing some shit nasty, and then when I don't want to eat your food, you be in your feelings. Oh, I'm not gonna use this one at all. I'm gonna tell y'all why. Look at this. You see the big ass orange line? Spoiled. You got to be paying attention to what you're prepping. Because just like that, that was what, three tomatoes that was bad. That's why I also order a lot of them. Because there usually is. It's not like I went to go pick them out. I don't be having time for that shit no more. I really don't. Because by the time I get off work, sometimes it's 8, sometimes 9 o'clock. I still gotta fix something to eat. If I'm editing, I'm trying to get a video rendered. So I ain't got time to be trying to go to the store. All right, so I'm using my Ninja for the Roma tomatoes. It saves me on having to do all that extra chopping that I used to do. And the reason I stopped doing the pico de gallo, somebody had asked me that the last couple of videos, lives or rather, because it's a lot more labor, and the nerve issues in my spine that I need treatment for, I just really try not to do too much. Like I do enough, but not too much. Because even standing up chopping, it can trigger the cervical spine pain in my neck. And I'm probably not ever going to get neck surgery done, even though that was something suggested. I would rather find some natural remedies and then see if I can find the right chiropractor to just help with like pain techniques. I've also been looking at stuff on YouTube about that too. So, like I said, I'm all about natural healing. All of that extra shit. Pretty quick too. I mean, it don't take much. So, let's see. Does it even show how much it made? Uh, so this made about 3.5 cups of tomatoes for salsa. I ain't gonna lie, I never even paid attention to the measurements on the thing because I know I'm gonna get at least 1.5. I'm gonna get at least one 32-ounce container and maybe a 16-ounce container out of one batch. So again, this is again chefing on a budget. Now these tomatoes, I think when I looked at the receipt, I think they were either $3 or under. That pineapple was either $2.99 or $3.99, and that produced a 32-ounce, which any person who just kind of wants their fruit intake but isn't a pineapple fanatic would probably eat off of that for at least a week. And then the limes were $3, $4, so those was $2. Serrano peppers were less than $1, and I think the red onion was like $1.50. Cilantro was 95 cents. Again, chefing on a budget. Eat your way healthy. I'm gonna show you how to eat your way healthy, and it ain't gonna cost you a whole bunch of money. So we're gonna start with aromas. Um, my OCD is getting to me, so I got to move some things out of the way because I feel like there's too many items over there. For those who are new, I have OCD for real. Like it's a real thing. I don't like clutter and mess annoys me. So I have to clean as I go. And if you ever ask me to come cook for you, please don't be offended when I clean your kitchen up. I have actually had people getting their feelings about that. That's a chef thing. Any professional kitchen I go into, I clean it. I set it up to my standards. I sanitize it, I wipe it down. As y'all can see, I use saran wrap to protect the countertop. Also to protect the food, like if I'm prepping something and, say for instance, a piece of onion fall over, if it's on your countertop that has been cleaned with chemicals, you have just contaminated that whatever that onion or whatever fell on your countertop. Didn't know that shit till I took culinary sanitation. I was like, wow. She's like, yep. She's like, you have to throw it away. If it hits anything that had anything chemical treated, like whether it's pine sol, Dawn, I don't know, Fabuloso. Fabuloso is my shit. Even though it don't sanitize shit, it smells good. If you have cleaned your countertop with a chemical, you should never prep food on it. You should always, always cover your counter with either saran wrap or wax paper, but don't just, you know, have the raw ass food on the counter where there has been chemicals on that counter because it is definitely contaminating the vegetables and or fruit. Okay, this is trash. All right, so because that's a little too dark now. I was trying to close the curtains a little bit, but because that sun was making it a little warm, but I don't like the when I be turning the AC on, it'd be like a weird smell kind of comes out. It trigger my allergies and shit. I realize a lot of these buildings, a lot of the vents be dirty. I think because they're old. Okay, I'm gonna use at least three. Some of these limes look like they're already trying to go bad. That's crazy. It's like I just got these. I'm about to really look at the date I ordered this shit. This is craziness. Even the cilantro's already brown on the bottom. All right, so these are serrano peppers. The reason I like to use get closer. The reason I like to use serranos, jalapenos are good, but I don't know. I think because I'm so used to it being in everything, I like the intensity of the flavor of a serrano, and you really don't need much. Since these are like larger peppers, because I normally they like smaller than this, I'm gonna just honestly use one because I want it to be spicy, but I don't want it to be overly spicy. Now with canned tomatoes, because like I used to use the fire roasted, what brand was it? Hunt's fire roasted tomatoes, which they're good. But when I started paid attention to the ingredients and I saw that they used sodium nitrate, I was like, that's why I noticed when I would make that salsa, if I would eat a lot of it, I would kind of swell up. And that was why, because they added extra sodium to preserve it in the can. And then I looked at the sodium content, and I think it was like 500 milligrams. Oh, like, God damn. Yeah, that's why my ass had been swelling up like that. Oh, this is gonna be onion. I probably should have put it on the small one. Let me think how I want to do this. Okay, I'm gonna do the avocado first before I do the onion. And I need to really invest in some new cutting boards because I need to have one that's only for onion and garlic because onion does leave a smell. Um, on the cutting board. Even after you clean it, you really have to like let it air dry for at least a couple of days. And you could always put, what's about to say, wax paper down, which I will. And you could also scrub your cutting board with baking soda paste. That's what I was trying to find the word. But it still lingers. So it's like I'd rather just kind of get multiple cutting boards. That way, when it comes to cut an onion, probably I'll get a wooden one for that and just have that one be its own cutting board. And then everything else, won't have that smell. Because think about it, if I'm prepping pineapple, I don't want a lingering onion smell to enter into the pineapple because of the strong smell of the onion. So I'm gonna do the onion last. I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting up the avocados. Now these are pretty dark, so I don't know. They might be bad, but I'm gonna see. Normally, once they, start to get this blackish green, they could potentially be molded. And if they are, then they are. I got a whole nother pack, but they're definitely not ripe enough yet. Let me show y'all the difference. When they're this green, they're not ripe at all. So you got to let them sit out at least a few days. Um, but I didn't realize that the ground beef, not the ground beef, I don't even eat beef. The ground turkey. I don't know why the hell I said that because I ain't ate ground beef in years. But the ground turkey I had got, I looked at the date and that's going to expire soon. So I'm gonna go. That's why I decided to do the nachos tonight instead of the salmon because I had actually got salmon and I'm going to make two different flavors. One's going to be a lemon dill and the other one's going to be like an Italian herb. And then I got sweet potatoes and I'm just going to bake those in the oven. I decided to stop adding the extra sugar and all of that because it's really not healthy. That's how we served them at Longhorn. Because that was definitely one of the things that we had to do during the rush was constantly prepping more sweet potatoes and baked potatoes. And, you just bake them on a baking sheet in the oven. And then when they come out, add that dollop of butter. And then we would sprinkle on the cinnamon sugar dusting that we would make. And it tastes really good. But in retrospect, when I thought about it, well, you got sodium from the butter and you got all that sugar, kind of is making the sweet potato unhealthy. Tastes good, but it's not healthy. So for me, I like to just bake them with nothing on them at all. Um, I normally bake them on like either 350 or 375, depending upon the oven. The first time I made them here, because this oven, because it's I guess because it's a gas one, it cooks really fast. The bottoms cooked more than I wanted. Like they were more caramelized than I wanted. I do like the bottoms of my baked sweet potatoes to be caramelized, just not burnt. There's a difference. So I was like, I think for this oven, I'll have to do it on 350 and maybe move the rack up a little bit since I don't have that small one. I'm gonna go ahead and use this. Okay. Hopefully I can see the camera. So honestly, they're not bad considering how dark, because like they're almost black. Normally, when an avocado is black, it's molded. Like when you cut it open. So these are not bad. Luckily, I caught them, before they started to turn. So I normally wouldn't make this much guacamole, but I'd rather make them than, you know, keep them for like another day or so and then they go bad. When I seen that picture of Funky Dinevas, his post where he was talking about should he eat that fish, and I had commented on it. When I seen that damn avocado was brown as fuck, I was like, they need the damn fire. Whoever the hell served him this bullshit. Cause how could you even put that on somebody's plate, nigga? It's brown. That means it's past the stage of molding. That shit is completely contaminated. If you actually put that out for somebody to eat, like I swear to God, bro. Sometimes it really do be the wrong types of people working in this industry because they don't. If they don't really actually care about food safety, they'll just play whatever just to say that we got the food out, and that's terrible to me. I was like, I cannot believe that even left the damn restaurant. That shit, I'm not lying. The inside of that damn avocado is about as brown as this pit. I could not believe that shit. Okay, so these are almost done. And what I'm gonna do is, oh shit, I forgot to save the tomato for the damn guacamole. Cause I don't be liking to add the salsa because the salsa is already, more runny because it's made with fresh tomato, and I don't like it when it makes the guacamole runny. And with these avocados being soft as it is, the guacamole gonna start turning colors probably by tomorrow, but it'll still be good. But if you add like watery ass tomatoes, then you'll have water at the bottom of the guacamole the next day. And me personally, I just don't like that. So I'm gonna see. I might can use some of the cherry tomatoes. I mean, it'll change the flavor, but I do got some of those left. I need to show y'all the next time I make that Italian quesadilla, I'll come online. That shit was so good. There's this brand, Good and Gather. I use their chicken andouille sausage whenever I want like an andouille sausage flavor because I don't eat pork or beef, and it's really good. Basically, what I did is I went ahead and just let it bake in the oven on some parchment paper so that the outside would get crispy, and then I sliced it up, and I just sliced up like some of the cherry tomatoes and some fresh basil and drizzled some ranch on that shit. It was so damn good. It was so damn good. And that's something that's quick, easy, and cheap to make. Okay, so I'm glad I flipped that over. Cause see that part of that avocado did have mold on it. Yeah, no, I don't even trust it. All of that's gone. I don't even trust it. I ain't even know parts of that. Cause it was like I didn't see it until I flipped over that one piece and I seen some of the black and I'm like, nah, because as sensitive as my stomach is, and that's another thing too. If you go to scoop out an avocado, and for instance, like you can see the yellow part doesn't have no mold. Still flip it over because sometimes mold can be on that darker green side, and if you don't, pay attention to that, you're going to be mixing that into your guacamole, and it's definitely going to make you sick. I realize I don't know why I had the bowl way over there. Yeah, no, no, that one looks like it's about to go bad. I'm not going to use that. And actually, what I'm gonna do before I slice up the onion, I'm gonna clean that cilantro because believe it or not, that shit, you know, well, one because it definitely is grown in fertilizer, but it carries a lot of dirt and E. coli, and you really do have to be thorough in the way that you clean it. You can't just rinse off cilantro and use it, although a lot of people do. When I used to work at Chili's, a lot of the staff there, man, they would just pull them big ass cases of cilantro out of the reach in, the walk in, and just start chopping it up. I'm like, bruh, you got the fuck? That shit got all kind of dirt on it. Like, you got to clean that off. Like, I'm telling you, people used to get so mad at me because I would be checking them on that. But I'm telling you, there's so many people that work in restaurants that's nasty as hell because they just want to be able to say they got, they got their list done or they got the work done. But if it ain't sanitary, then you risking other people's health. And I feel like some people need to go through being, exposed to food poisoning before they can really take it serious. Because That shit ain't no joke. That shit can kill you. I was sick for 14 hours straight, bro. That shit was horrible. So I don't ever want anybody who has eaten anything that I've, made to have that experience. I'd rather take the time and make sure, I'm doing it the right way than just be trying to rush through some shit. Let me see. This one is questionable. Set that to the side. I don't know about that. Yeah, I ain't gonna get much else out of this one. Oh, I ain't using that at all. All that shit is brown. Hell no. See, that's why I get multiple bunches too. I always order like at least 3 bunches. It's like I hate that I don't have the time that I used to, but trying to be an editor, a designer, working full time while managing chronic conditions, like I really don't have time to go shopping like that no more, especially as late as I get off. And then when I'm not working, I'm working on this. So, but I kind of do miss it because I know what to look for when I go to look for my produce. But then like there's traffic, then you got to deal with people at the store, and I ain't got time for all of that. Driving in Houston literally triggered my PTSD. That's honestly that's why I was glad I ended up selling my car. Because people be like, I'm telling you, the way people drive here is really just psychotic, and I always feel like I'm about to die when I'm on the freeway, especially 45. I don't know what I think everybody be on. I don't know what the fuck they be on, but they be on some shit because why the fuck are you doing 120? And I'm already pushing damn near 100. I'm already doing like 90, 95. I cannot. And the way people cut you off, like there's times I have been literally pushed onto the shoulder when trying to merge. Like, come on, bro. So I would much rather Lyft and Uber than to be driving because I'm like, you know what? I'll just get everything delivered because I swear, like, there have been times I have for real almost been hit and it scared the living like because of the accidents I've been in before. That's why I have nerve damage in my spine and in my hands and cervical spine is because I've been hit multiple times. And each time I was hit, outside of the time that my car brakes ran out and I ran into that little what they call that back in the day where when you had to go to those booths and like get a parking ticket, I forget what they call it. It's not a toll thing. It's like when you enter a private garage. But anyways, the brakes on my car at that time went out and I ended up running into that little booth thing because I couldn't get the car to stop. That's the only accident I've been in where it wasn't another person hitting me. The other accidents, I was hit and I was hit on the freeway. Like I was hit because people were merging into my lane and not paying attention. And so like I for real have PTSD from that. That's why like when people start driving crazy, it like makes me go nuts because it triggers my road rage. It's like, bruh, I am not trying to die. I'm just trying to merge into this damn lane. People out here drive crazy. So it's like with me having, the option for delivery, I ain't got to worry about none of that. And I ain't got to worry about trying to go shopping all hella late at night because that is what I used to do. And that just got to be too much. Because I will say the thing I liked about going late at night, there's a lot less people, but there's also a lot less inventory. Okay, so see how the paper is has like green and brown? Me personally, I feel like it needs to be cleaned again. The reason I use the wet paper towels is because that's how you can see whether or not there's still dirt. Again, just rinsing it is not actually cleaning it. They had taught us that in sanitation. They said all rinsing does is activate the pathogens, literally. Like the parasites that dwell within some of the chemicals, the parasites that dwell within um, like the dirt and the fertilizer and stuff. That's like E. coli, all of that. It comes from all that stuff. So a lot of people, like when they were having those E. coli breaks and stuff, a lot of that comes from things not being prepped properly. But see this, that's pretty dirty. So that's why I'm gonna do it a second time, and make sure like you spread it apart so that because sometimes there will be like hidden patches of dirt in cilantro. I've actually seen it before. So one thing about me, if I cook or prep for you, it's gonna be at the highest level of sanitation. Yeah, see, I'm glad I did it a second time. Cause look at that. And then I'll show y'all. So now it's like, oh, but there's pieces in here. See, I'm glad I did pull that up to the light. There's pieces in there that are starting to like kind of go bad. That's crazy. That's like pretty much all I got from them three, them three bunches. But it'll be enough. So I'm just making one batch of salsa, and then I do put a little bit of cilantro in the guacamole because I like the freshness that it gives it. I don't know why I just did that. Hold up, yeah, because I ain't even supposed to be. I forgot that I had my ninja because I like the way how small it makes it. I don't care for the big, flakes of cilantro and salsa and stuff. I like the flavors to blend and marry. See how fast it chops it? I love this thing. That's why I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck am I doing? If I have time, I'm gonna do a yoga session. If not, I might do it tomorrow. Now, before I would add like the cilantro last, the reason I like to add it second is so that as the tomatoes are sitting in their own juices, the cilantro flavor will like basically the longer it sets, the better it marries the flavor. And then I can add the onion and then the lime and the pepper and then the salt and that's it. I've seen some people add seasoning to salsa. You ruin the salsa when you do that shit, bro. Just put some kosher salt. I don't do pepper because I just don't like the flavor of pepper in my salsa, but some people do. But it's like, with sea salt, a little goes a long way. You don't need a lot of it. And it's actually the healthiest salt to use as far as your digestive system. Yeah, I definitely like to keep stuff covered, especially when I see them little stupid ass gnats. Damn fruit flies flying around. I'm gonna have to end up making a fruit fly trap as it starts to get warmer because them little things are annoying. I remember I was making a cheesecake one time when I lived here before, and that little motherfucker just flew right over my bowl and right into my batter. I was like, that little bitch ruined my whole. I had to throw the whole goddamn bowl away. I was so mad, and I didn't have no extra ingredients neither. So yeah, I cannot stand them little bugs. They're like the ones in Houston are. They don't give a fuck, man. They'll just fly in your shit while you making it. All right, let me see. I think I'm gonna chop the lime first because I know that onion is gonna keep that flavor on there. I don't think I can get nothing else out of that cilantro. Put that to the side. It's getting to be too many things on this counter. Yeah, I'm not fucking with no more of that. It's a real thing, y'all. Like, it's a real thing. I just cannot. Like, I cannot. If it starts to get cluttery, my nerves start to. I gotta move some shit around. I don't like it. My mom be laughing at me with that. She's like, "You definitely got that from me." I cannot. Plus, I don't want. I don't really even want these exposed because little damn fruit flies keep flying around here. And I don't know. I feel like they might just look. Regular flies land on shit and feed on actual feces, from humans to animals. I don't trust no little fly because your little ass might have just been on some shit, and I don't want that on my food. Okay, I need to grab some salt and then let me see. I think yeah, this one is straight. Oh no, it's too soft. Shit. If it's too soft, it's gonna end up causing like little pieces of grit. I don't be liking that. So I'm gonna have to use some cherry tomatoes. It doesn't, to me, it does taste different with the cherry tomatoes than the Roma. But I mean, It's still a tomato. So, because these are, made made to be sweet. I don't necessarily like sweet associated with my guacamole, but they'll do for now. I need to make that tea tonight because I was doing good, but like that mucus crack keeps coming up, which is really gross. So I actually wipe down my veggies. Um, Vegetables get transported through so many different people's hands, different environments, physical transportation of them. You can't just start prepping some shit that you picked up from the store. You got to clean it off. And really, technically, to make it sanitary, what I normally do is I'll soak the vegetables in some purified water with just a little bit of baking soda, because the baking soda acts as like kind of like an antimicrobial to prevent like parasites and pathogens from clinging onto the vegetable that cling to the vegetable during the fertilization process. So, like with the kale, if I'm gonna saute kale, I definitely soak it um, in a bowl full of purified water with just a little bit of the baking soda. Plus, it also, if there's any bugs that are attached to it, it gets rid of them too. Okay, that knife is not as sharp. You motherfuckers are hard to hold. Uh, I don't feel like doing the most with them, so I'm about to just dump them in there. Plus, I do like my guacamole to have texture, and because these avocados are not firm because they're soft, it's probably gonna come out more pasty than I want it to. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave these in the half size. Because sometimes I make them a little bit smaller, but then I don't be liking little tiny chunks of tomato. I don't know. I'm very particular about my guacamole. I'm different. I like for it to have texture. So like if I eat it with chips, which I'm going to, if I'm making nachos, like I can scoop it up onto the chip and it's not all watery and pasty and runny. Like I like mine like thick and kind of chunky like that. All right, so pretty much everything's in here except for I do want to do that pepper right quick. Now, here's another fun fact. Antioxidants are seeds. So when you hear about, people promoting products that have antioxidants, what it means is that it has a seed of more than likely some sort of fruit or plant extract. With the serrano peppers, the seeds, and this is called the meat of the pepper, that is actually what makes it hot. That's what makes it, and this is what sticks to your tongue and your palate. So like if you eat something with a fresh pepper and that fresh pepper hits your tongue and then your tongue is all extra hot, it's because of this. So for me, because of my digestive issues, now if I didn't have IBS, this would be perfect if you're trying to detox to have the seeds in it. But for me, it's a no go because this will have me in the bathroom like a good 3 hours, and I'm not even exaggerating. So I remove completely the seeds and the hair and the meat, as they call it in the kitchen. I clean them completely out, and then I use. Because, like I said, for me, until I'm able to get the surgery done, I'm trying to keep things as calm in my stomach as possible. But I still like to have the flavor of the pepper just without all the intensity of the heat and the overworking in my digestive system from the seeds and things. Like, I don't like when my cutting board gets a little too, I gotta wipe it down. They smell really good. They smell fresh without all of the sting and the gas. And that's the other thing, because I've worked in kitchens for so long. Gases that come from like onions and peppers don't even phase me because it's like my eyes are immune to it. I remember one time I was prepping some nachos at my cousin's, and his now wife, then girlfriend, was like, "The whole kitchen smells like onions," because that's the part of the prep I was on. I was, prepping the onions, and to me, it ain't no big deal because I'm so used to it working in kitchens. But she was like, "Oh my god, it's so intense." But then once I started slicing up the lime, she's like, "Oh, it smells so good." I said, "I know." I said, "It's just part of the prep process. Onions can be intense, but then once you get past it, it's not that bad." I'm going to show y'all something with that as well on prepping of the onions. An important factor in terms of how to eliminate acid reflux and the belching of the onion. Oh, get the fuck on. I hate them little things. Like, beat it. Shit. And those usually do come out of the cilantro because they're always hiding in those bunches. Because I'm like, it wasn't until I opened that shit that little motherfucker came out. I got the other one, couldn't get that one. I am gonna do wax paper for this. I'm gonna double it up though. Now the reason I use red onion is because I like um, the sweetness and the intensity. You don't have to use as much. With the white onion, what I found with my fresh salsa, because like I said, I had transitioned from using the canned tomatoes to the fresh ones about a few months ago. What I found is that the white onion flavor would get lost. It would get lost in the salsa. It's like I'm glad the mucus is coming up, but it's also gross. Okay. So I always cut off, the bottom. What did I do? Oh shit! What did I do with that bag? Hmm. Yeah, I thought I had one over there. Hold on. Could have sworn I had a freezer bag. Oh, they're going. Okay. Because again, the smell do be strong, and I don't want that smell to take over and just be lingering. The reason I do that is to make it easier to peel it. Um, that way, you go like right into that incision. You definitely always want to peel off the dark piece. That dark outer is the protective layer for the onion, but you really shouldn't eat it. Me personally, I actually like to try to go at least 2 layers in before I actually use the onion, especially in fresh prep because it's not being cooked. That smell on that one is strong. It's crazy how that little like milky substance comes out of the onion when you take those 2 layers off. And I've been using the bags to help seal the smell because I don't know if I feel like taking out trash tonight or not. Now, if it starts to get to be real strong, I will. It's like literally just downstairs. Okay, so let me show y'all this. You see, in this little center of essentially this is part of the core. See how it's kind of green? That means that this onion would be starting to go bad within the next week. Always remove that center core. See how I just lifted it out? The reason being, this is the root of the onion. This is the part that contains the gas that causes your eyes to burn and that causes acid reflux and belching. So you really shouldn't consume that. I always remove it and remove it from both sides. Again, see, like what I normally do is just look everywhere it's white, don't eat that. And then just lift it out and toss it out. Lift it out and toss it out. That way, any sort of parasites that could potentially be within that part of the onion are not, in your fresh prep. Again, I'm always going to show you the proper way. It might not be the fastest, but it's the most sanitary. Here's another thing about when you prep things like shallot, which is a sweet onion, or even fresh garlic. When you are making something and you're looking for texture with that herb, that's when you want to leave it like rough chopped, like how I'm doing it, where they're kind of larger pieces. If you want texture, if you want flavor, mince it. And mince it just means you just continue to keep chopping it until it's really small. But because it's salsa and I like my salsa to have like some chunkiness to it. I definitely like for my guacamole to have chunkiness to it. So I leave the pieces pretty big because that's just how I like to eat it. And the other thing too, with removing that core, you're not getting that strong onion smell and all of that gas. Like I said, my eyes been stopped doing that shit. But if they didn't, like I barely can smell the onions, which is good. Because the other thing is you don't want the flavor of the onion to overpower what you're making. As a chef, you're always looking for balance. So like I said, the white onion was good, but it would get lost after a couple of days. I personally don't like yellow onion at all. Um, I just really don't. I don't like the flavor of it. I definitely don't like using it in fresh prep. I think the only time I'll use yellow onion is if I'm making sauteed potatoes. I'll use it for that. That's about it. Fresh prep, never. It's either going to be white or red, and most times it's going to be red because red is sweeter and it lasts longer, and it also stays firm the longest. I can't tell if it needs more. It needs a little bit more. If I can't tell if it needs more, then it needs a little bit more because it still tastes a little flat. Then the rest I put in the guacamole. Now, because I'm making this only for me, I'm a double dip my spoon. But if I was making this for other people, I would have actually a box of plastic spoons that I would use for tasting. It might be somebody over there. I think it needs even a little bit more. Yeah, it needs a little more cilantro. Add a little bit more of that. I will say I do like the different sizes that this set that I had got a few months back offers. But Amazon be having bootleg shit. Cause like, why have pieces to each one of these like certain little pieces been falling off? I'm like, Amazon be having bootleg. They be having the Alibaba version. Okay, I feel like that's good. Let me make sure it's good on cilantro before I add the lime. Cause for me, the lime is the last step, and then I add the sea salt, and I do add a little bit of cumin, and sometimes I might add onion powder, but I want to make sure it's got enough fresh onion flavor because I'd rather just do make it simple. Yeah, perfect now. Oh, that's perfect now. All it needs is a lime and shit. Oh, I have to sleep in here. Oh, this ain't got no. I didn't drop pieces of damn onion on the floor. And see, just with a spoon, you can just mix it by hand. It don't take much. I mean, that's pretty much it. And the lime is gonna make it a little bit more watery, but it's gonna add the flavor that it needs. That's why I don't like to use tomatoes that are watery, because then it's just runny and it don't taste good. Like the thing I feel like is the worst thing ever is going to a restaurant and getting soupy ass guacamole. Like y'all just pulled that shit out of that damn package in the bag and poured it into a bowl. I feel like that's just a disgrace to guacamole itself. So if it ain't chunky, I don't want it. So far, I'm just using a half of a lime. If I was using more avocado, like if I had used all the avocado, I would have probably used one full lime. But with just that, smaller amount, I ain't gonna need a whole lot. Cause that little motherfucker still flying around. Keep this covered. And that one too. Cause there's a little hole on top. There's too much stuff on there. Okay, I'm gonna have to move this out the way. All right, so this is the salt we use in restaurants. Kosher sea salt. This is the only salt I ever use. Um, I've already added the lime juice. I feel like that's probably enough for that. Kosher sea salt also is a good preservative without you having to make a brine, because the crystals of the sea salt end up infusing with your, because technically tomatoes are a fruit, with your fruit, and it helps to preserve it. That's how come salsa, like fresh salsa, can last, up to 2 weeks, sometimes longer in the refrigerator if you're using the right salt, salt. Plus, sea salt is the most natural salt that doesn't contribute to, hypertension, which is high blood pressure. Because iodized salt has other chemicals in with it, and that's why it's so cheap. And it's also the one that most people use, and it's also the one that's the leading cause in diabetes and hypertension, which again is high blood pressure. So again, eating your way healthy, show you the right way to cook and prep like a chef while keeping it healthy. Okay. Where is this? Oh, it's in there. And again, since this is just for me, I'm not tripping about me using the same spoons. But if it was for other people, I wouldn't be. It definitely needs more lime. Everything else tastes balanced, but ain't enough lime. I definitely like the texture of the red onion. because it's not like real huge pieces where all you taste is onion, but you get the crunch of it. And by the way, the salsa has a lot of antioxidants from the seeds of the tomato, the serrano pepper itself, the lime juice that has antioxidants in it. I'm trying to think. I need to look up the vitamins for Roma tomatoes because they're, like I said, they're technically a fruit, but they contain a lot of vitamins, just like the serrano pepper and the lime. And then the avocado promotes hormonal balance for men that have erectile dysfunction. You can eat raw avocado, that'll help with that. It helps with pH balance, sweating. There's like a lot of health benefits from avocado. Wait, not that one. So as I have more time, I'll start editing videos after I do like a live with the nutrition, basically like what health benefits and nutrients you're getting from the food that I'm showing you how to make. See, what I like to do when mixing salsa is make sure you get down there at the bottom and pull that to the top. That way, you know, your lime juice and everything blends together well. Mm. And need more salt and more lime and a little bit more cumin. I'm gonna add the lime first because it seemed like the lime when I added it, it kind of drowned out. That one is hard. The seasoning that I'd already, the salt and cumin I'd already put in there. I didn't even count the tomatoes. I don't even know how many tomatoes I used this time. Maybe it was like 9 or 10. I can't remember. Oh, that's why it's hard because that one's drying out. I gotta say some. I'm gonna say that one for the guacamole in case I need more. Oh, salt. I hate touching like salt and seasoning bottles with the dirty ass hands. Because you know, it's nothing worse than when you go to somebody's house and cook for them, or you know, like you see they got seasonings and you go to pick up the seasoning and the outside is all crusty. It got dried up blood and dried up chicken and dried up raw goddamn pieces of pork and shit. Like, goddamn, you didn't even try to wipe this shit down. You clearly just picked up the meat and picked up the whole container. I'm telling you, it be little stuff like that that I be paying attention to, bro. I'm telling you, being a chef is it's not easy to for me to it's not easy for me to eat other people's food. I'll put it that way. Cause I'm like, if all your seasonings is covered in nasty shit, that means your ass is nasty. That means I don't even be eating nothing that you put. Okay, I think that's probably enough time. It's good, but now I put too much salt. Damn, I ain't got no more tomatoes. But then again, after 2 days, the tomatoes are gonna disintegrate more, so it'll balance out. Cause they start to, especially because of the lime juice, they start to break down more and they release more fluid. That's why After maybe 2 or 3 days, you'll see that your fresh salsa has like a little bit of a more watery texture. It's because the tomatoes breaking down, and the sea salt activates it, but it does it in a way to make it taste balanced. And actually, now that I stirred it up more, it's not even bad. I just needed to keep stirring it. It actually tastes balanced now. Yeah, I guess I just needed to keep stirring it, but it will taste better um, after at least 2 days. Definitely by day 4, and then like realistically, you can keep fresh salsa in your refrigerator up to 2 weeks. I normally try to eat it within a week. But one of the things that my Mexican homegirl showed me from high school was how to make ranchero sauce. She's like, this is what we do. Like, if the sauce is about to go bad, they cook it on the stove with bouillon and turn it like into a ranchero sauce that you can pretty much use universally. And she happened to use it to make like enchiladas, and that shit was good. It was really good. So like if I normally don't end up having a lot of salsa left because that's one of my favorite snacks is chips and salsa. And I found these unsalted tortilla chips I'm about to show y'all. They're actually really, really good. The key to the chips and salsa is make sure that you warm the chips up, and it'll taste just like if you're at a restaurant. So yeah, now it's balanced. Now it's balanced. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that in the container. That's done. And then I need to mix up and make sure that this guacamole is balanced too. So I'm gonna put this off in a container, and then I'm gonna come back once I've made the taco meat. I do use the store bought Taco Bell seasoning. That's my favorite one. And oh, I forgot to order the fucking bay leaves. I normally add bay leaves to it too, and it enhances the flavor. And I just realized I forgot to order those, but it's cool. It'll be fine. But see what I mean? The more you stir it, it starts to get softer. So that's why it's important not to use like old tomatoes or tomatoes that are runny because the more you stir it, the more the avocado breaks down. Because avocado is actually even used as a butter. So this is about as smooth as I would want my guacamole to be because like I like to have mine chunky. It needs a touch more lime. Other than that, it's perfect. Oh, there is some more limes over there. That might be enough. Yeah, I think that's gonna be enough. And then pretty much once the taco meat is ready, then I'll come back. I don't know if I'm. Sometimes I like to add like shredded mozzarella to the queso fresco and warm it up so it's kind of melty a little bit. But I think tonight I'm gonna just do the queso fresco just in its pure form and see how it tastes. Yeah, see, because the more lime you add, like the more soft it'll get, and it can start to get runny. Mmm, fucking perfect now. Yeah, that's some good shit. That's some good shit. And the little pieces of tomato that's in there, when I bite into them, they taste sweet. So I guess it wasn't that bad to use the cherry tomatoes. Cause like you know how sometimes you'll bite into like, say for instance you go to a restaurant and they give you like fish tacos and they give you like that mango salsa, and sometimes you go to bite into it and it's like a big ass piece of red onion, and all you taste on your palate for like ever is red onion. That to me is the worst. So that's why I try to make sure I balance out the intensity of the red onion with enough lime. and tomato ratio so that it's balanced. That's all it's about with chefs is balance of flavor. Okay, I got to clean this up because I cannot. I just can't do it. Definitely end up having more than one bag of trash. I know folks probably like, why the fuck she got so much trash? Because I cook, I use fresh ingredients, and also because of my GI condition that I'm working to heal. But I do be having a lot of trash because I do a lot of prep. Cause like I ain't gonna lie, I tried, doing the whole food order, and the way they kept fucking up the deliveries, I was like, man, fuck that shit. Motherfuckers making me walk all extra far to come meet them. Don't want to bring shit to your door. Acting like they lost, but then be right where your ass told them to go, and be fucking off the food. One of the dude stole part of my order from Popeye. I was a bitch ass nigga. I'd rather just either go get my food or make it. I'm trying to make sure these ain't ones for my tea. No, okay, as long as it ain't the ones for my tea. I don't like to mix scents when it comes to my hot tea. You know what? I think I'm gonna add that cilantro to the meat and see how it tastes since I got extra cilantro over there. I don't know why I'm wiping off the saran wrap, y'all. I told y'all my OCD is so real. Like I can't see a mess and not clean it. I cannot. And I know I got this from my mom. Last time we was talking, we was laughing about that. Cause my mom, one of them people, like when I had got my first apartment when I was 19, and it was just like a little studio. She came over, and when she went to use the bathroom, she was sitting on the toilet scanning the floor for hair. And it's just something she's always done. I don't know why. It's just that's just her. And I was laughing. I was like, I know you're not in my bathroom looking for hair because I knew you was coming. Like I'm clean anyway, but I'm extra clean when I know my mom's gonna come because that's Inspector Gadget. That's what we used to call her. But I found myself doing that, especially because of me trying these different hairs for these braids, and the hair be shedding, and I don't like it. So I'm always like cleaning it. And one of the times we was talking, I said, "Oh, I see some hair on the floor." She just started laughing. She said, "Man, you didn't turn into me." I was like, "I sure have, because I don't like that shit." I mean, I don't cuss to my mom, but y'all know what I mean. That made a perfect 32-ounce pint or whatever, not pint, whatever it's called, 32-ounce cup of salsa. So from that one batch, and look, the shit look good as fuck, don't it? Restaurant style, baby, restaurant style. That's the blessing. If you ever get me to cook for you, it's gonna be restaurant style food because I'm an actual executive chef, pastry chef, and certified culinary trainer. I've always had multiple jobs. I think the cleaning people here. I kept hearing like that front door, and I'm like, I didn't think nobody was over there. Dropping shit all on the floor. And the other thing about me, as soon as I get done prepping and this shit, I'm gonna be pre-cleaning. Because my thing is, by the time I sit down and eat, I don't want to have to get up and clean the whole kitchen. Because like in kitchens, in professional kitchens, that's how it is. You have your rush, everybody get their food out, then everything slow down. You start, breaking shit down. You start cleaning up. So for me, it's just something I'm accustomed to doing, having worked in kitchens damn near my whole life. Um, Plus, like I said, when I sit down, I want to relax and more than likely watch a movie. So yeah, that shit is good. Now the guacamole is a touch salty, but I don't mind it because the chips that I use don't have any sodium, so it's not like a huge deal. See, I really ain't gonna have to chop up nothing else. I'm gonna just leave this in there because I'm end up putting this in the meat for the nachos anyhow. Um, and this is also why I do saran wrap because it's very easy to clean up. This was definitely something my mom taught us when she started her catering business because it was just us. It was me, her, my sister, and my former stepdad. So every catered event we did it, the four of us. And if she got ready to prep, she used the wax paper. I used to do that, but wax paper it moves around too much when I'm slicing. So that's why I do the saran wrap because it also helps to keep things in place. And then it's just really easy to clean up and it protects, the countertop. So I'm gonna go ahead and date label these, and then I guess I'm gonna start making the meat. Yeah, that way that's already done. And then that way, whenever I decide to eat, I'll come back when I plate it. Cause yeah, with that oven on, it's gonna get hot in here, so I'm not gonna be in this kitchen. Cause that's like a real ass gas stove. Well, I thought I at least had some dry. Oh shit! I hope that ain't right. Um, Damn, I thought I had dry Baileys. I guess not. I forgot I had the 2 bottles of black seed oil and the beef propolis up here. That shit fell. I'm glad that didn't break. So, like I said, I use the actual Taco Bell brand. It ain't no secret. This is my favorite. In fact, that's the only seasoning I ever use if I make ground turkey nachos. When I used to eat beef, carne asada was my favorite. Like if I went to a little Mexican restaurant, if I went to the drive-through, back home they got a couple of drive-through ones. My favorite one, what the fuck is it called? Um, De Leon's, man, their nachos. Even though I don't like their chips, the toppings are really good, and you can order it with the topping on the side. So a lot of times I would do that. And even though they would give me the chips, I wouldn't like use their chips, but I would put that on my own like nachos. Man, that shit was so good. But anyways, these are the no salt ones I get from HEB, and I think for this pack, and this is like a big pack, because I can get at least 3 to 4 servings out of this one bag of the nachos. That's why, again, chef on a budget. And I think these are like 3.49 at HEB, and they have no sodium at all. So that way, if you do top them with, something that's well seasoned, um, you kind of get the balance because there's no salt on them, and they taste really good. They taste just like restaurant chips, just without no salt on them. I always put them in the oven on warm, and then I top, my nachos. And like I said, it is a good practice to date label your food. I know as a chef, that's why I do it, but I really want to teach people that. That way, you know what day you made it, so you're not questioning whether or not it's spoiled. Salsa can honestly last up to 30 days. I think the longest it's ever lasted in my refrigerator was up to 2 weeks. But typically I'll eat that like back to back. Like I'll probably have nachos definitely again this week. Tomorrow I gotta make that salmon I brought out. So I'm gonna come back tomorrow with another like prepping the lemon dill salmon. I'll do that in one foil pack, and then I'm gonna do an Italian herb with fresh thyme, fresh basil, and I might even throw some dill in there, but definitely with the fresh thyme and the fresh basil, and then like butter and stuff in my seasoning blend. And then I'm just gonna bake the sweet potatoes and just put. I had to stop using regular butter because of the dairy, so I did go back to Blue Bonnet, which of course is like a solid margarine. But it does taste really good with just that and only that on the potato. I don't need nothing else on there. I actually had that last week with the salmon I had made, but the salmon came out too overcooked. That's why I didn't come on the live. It still tasted good, but it was dry because I left it in there a little too long. So I'm gonna come back tomorrow with that live. But for now, I'm about to get them dishes together, at least stacked into one area, because like I told y'all, my OCD is for real. And then I'm gonna get the oven set up so I can start making the turkey meat. And for some reason, it do take a while. So I mean, it might be a minute, but I'll just come back once everything is done and once I've plated it, or when I'm actually going to plate it is when I'll come back because I want to show y'all how to crumble the queso fresco and how to top the nachos. So anyways, fresh guacamole, fresh salsa. I already showed y'all the pineapple. Another time I'll come back and show y'all how to do the fresh cucumber chips that I showed y'all earlier. Again, ladies, if you are wanting to lose weight, the best detox is fresh cucumber, completely shave it, chop it up, and the fresh pineapple, and mix that with a lot of purified water. All right, so for now, I'm gonna go, but I will be back a little bit later.